When you look at the market action that we've seen since the weekend, and you sit and think about the fact that a market is trading with so many unknowns, including the economic outlook, can you give us any kind of economic outlook when it comes to the U.S.? Do you see a U.S. recession this year that President Trump talked about yesterday?
We do see a recession. We think it's going to be inevitable when we see such a disruption to the economy, really the halting of a lot of businesses, people hunkering down, consumers pulling back. Inevitably, this is going to cause a recession. Just the question is how deep and how long. Now, we think that the big hit is going to be seen very much in the second quarter. Interestingly, the data that we've had up until yesterday was showing the economy to be doing reasonably well in the first couple of months of the year. But the Empire Manufacturing Survey yesterday was the real signal about what's to come, an absolutely massive decline there. And we think that as we move into the coming days and weeks, then the downturn in the economy is going to become intensified.
I mean, that's exactly the point, is that there are beginning for bargains to be had out there, Sarah. We have this question from the Markets Live team that tries to find out which risk asset is going to move first if we do see a recovery. What would you be keeping an eye out for?
I think we need to step back and look very closely at what's happening with the path of the coronavirus, and at what point people start to feel that the number of cases is plateauing. Now, we do have an example, of course, in China, where the virus really started to accelerate through the middle of January, and now we're seeing a plateauing. Indeed, new cases seem to be associated more with being brought in from outside rather than from within China. And the data are showing the big collapse in industrial production, in sales, in all activity that was evident through January, February. But we are seeing people returning to work. It's relatively slow, particularly on the services side. We're seeing people still very cautious about interactions, going out for meals or anything that involves sort of contact, close contact. So we think that probably markets will need to have in view the virus starting to plateau, and really be aware that the economic data are going to look pretty horrible for the next few months.